Hi guys, this is Names with Names Repairs, and in today's video I'm going to show you what happens when your timing belt breaks. Now this example is from a Nissan Qashqai. In Africa they call them Nissan Duralis, but here in Europe they call them Nissan Qashqai. But the engines are all the same. In the Dacia Duster, the 1.5 DCI is built by Renault. It's also found in the Mercedes CLA 180, and it's found in the Nissan Qashqai, Renault Megane, and also Dacia Duster. The common problem with this engine is that the water pump was poorly designed. So if you don't change your water pump in time, it ends up seizing, and that causes the belt to break. So you see, the design is that it has no teeth or any other gears. Flat surface of the belt rides on it, and then when it seizes, it causes the belt to come off, or the belt just snaps because it's seized. So what happened is this seized, and that's why this Qashqai broke its timing belt. It's a 09 car. I bought it for 450 euro. Took the recovery, picked it up, brought it here, took out the cylinder head, and then went to the scrapyard and found another cylinder head and replaced it. So I've decided to share this information to help you out there, so that when you have this 1.5 DCI engine, please make sure when you're changing the timing belt, also change the water pump in time, because if you don't, it will end up seizing on you, and this is a common problem. You will lose your whole car, your engine will go bust. So that's the car. It's a 09 Qashqai. I bought it cheap because it had a broken timing belt, and the cost to repair a broken timing belt engine in Ireland is very expensive. People don't usually repair them. They just sell them on for scrap or anything else. But it was a good car, very nice, clean car. So me and Danny decided to take off the cylinder head and replaced with another cylinder head from the junkyard. We didn't have to do any valve work. So I have a cylinder head here that we took off this car, and I'm going to show you now what really happened. So look, if I spin the cam, it's not spinning. The reason why it's not spinning is because of this seized water pump. It caused the belt to slip off, and it lost timing, so the engine bent some valves. So all the valves are bent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the intake and exhaust valves are bent. This one is partially bent, but this one is the only valve that survived. When you're buying used cars in Ireland, you need to be very careful with the timing belt situation. For example, this car was damaged because of a poor maintenance or a false maintenance record that happened with this car. People will sell you a car with timing belt marks written on top of the engine cover, telling you that the timing belt was done at a specific mileage. Please make sure you double check that. If there's a valid receipt from a well-known garage or any mechanic who did the work that can verify that they really did change the timing belt. Because if you change the timing belt and don't change the water pump, this is what happens to these engines. The water pump seizes and then it breaks, it throws off the belt. So exactly this is what happened with this engine. The water pump seized and it threw off the belt, and the engine went kaboom. Make sure that you check those timing belt numbers are correct and verify them before you start purchasing things. It's very common in Ireland. People like to put them on top of the engine cover, telling you that the timing belt was done, which wasn't done. A good example is this car. As you can see on the engine cover, they had it 151 kilometers. The timing belt was done. It's either the previous owner who sold it to this new owner that sold it to me did this, convinced them that the timing belt was changed, or it's the mechanic. They just brought it to the garage and said we changed it, but they never changed it, because this is the old water pump that came out of this car and it's seized. And this is what happens. If you're changing the timing belt, the full kit comes with the water pump. But I'll show you another mark, because this is 151K done. There's another mark saying that the timing belt was done at 75K, which is also false, because this is not true. 75K, and then another one here at 151K. I don't believe this, because if it were true, we wouldn't have a seized water pump. So be careful, guys, when you're buying these cars. This is my warning to you. Now what I'm gonna do with the old cylinder head that we've took out from here is refurbish it, rebuild it, and keep it for future use, or maybe sell it again and make some money back. But for now, this is what it is. So let's dive right into dissecting this cylinder head and show you what it looks like when you have a broken timing belt. For the cams, these are 8 mils. We'll start on the middle, loosening it up. Okay. And then release the pressure from the middle, and then go on and on until you're done. So that's it, folks. It's very dangerous here in Ireland to buy things without checking. Because if you don't check, this is what happens. You buy a car that says timing belt was done, and yet it wasn't done. I should use a bigger 10 mil here, because these are properly torqued to spec. And we do the last ones, the outer ones. That's it. They are all out. That'll make life easy for me now, just to use this 1.5 DCI. It's funny how this engine is found in the Mercedes. That just tells you what Mercedes is up to these days. Sharing the same engine with the Renault Megane. So when you see these guys driving that Mercedes, that CLA 180 or A-Class, the diesels, the 1.5, you should remember that they are driving a Renault Megane. There's no difference. It's just the build of the body. That's how crazy it is, man. Never buy a car that says we've done the timing belt just because it's written on the body, on the plastic or the engine cover. Doesn't mean that they actually did it. Make sure you double check. Should be able to remove these. And the camshaft is out. I'm lucky I didn't break it, because the gun is just extremely powerful. Let's see if the magnet's gonna pull them out. Yeah. Some say label them, but I'm not going to label them. Because they will be cleaned and washed. So if you can read here, it says Renault. Remember I told you it's Renault who built this engine. So one last hydraulic lifter out, and that's it. As I said in the video, I'm going to leave it here. I need a compressing tool to remove the valves. I don't want to hurt myself by taking out the valves without the proper tools. So for now, folks, we're going to leave it like this, and I'll see you in the next video where we continue refurbishing and rebuilding this head. But the main purpose of this video is to warn you so that next time when you're buying a car with a DCI, be careful, because the water pump tends to seize and the timing belt slips and you ruin your engine, and you'll end up selling the car for cheap or giving it away to the scrapyard when the car was good and it was driving. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace, and I'm out.